place of Jesus in the Quran and the Bible is a fascinating topic. Jesus has an important role in the Quran. He's one of the prophets in this line of prophethood from Adam to Muhammad that ends with Muhammad. He is shaped in a way that he advances the basic message of the Quran, which is that prophets are sent by God to exhort their people to believe in God and accept the authority of the messenger sent to them. So in that way, he's sort of a prototype or an antitype, A-N-T-E, to Muhammad. In fact, he's explicitly said in one passage to predict the coming of Muhammad. So in this way, the figure of Jesus is really distinctive in the Quran. But then there's a lot of commonalities between elements of the portrayal of Jesus that we find in the New Testament and the Quran. For example, many of the miracles that we know from the New Testament about Jesus are reported also in the Quran. He heals the blind, he heals the lepers, he even raises the dead in the Quran. All of these things are said to be done only by the permission of God, which is an interesting little detail in there. Also, his miraculous birth is reported in the Quran. The Quran defends the virginity and probably the perpetual virginity, which is interesting, of Mary. And but even then, the Quran is careful to say, if Jesus was born miraculously with no father, this doesn't redound to or suggest that he's divine, because so too Adam was born with no father. So it makes that parallel, which shows that it anticipates a possible argument by Christians around this teaching. One final place to mention is that the Quran seems to have no place for the Christian teaching of redemption and the sacrifice on the cross. So the Quran has one allusion to the crucifixion, and it seems to be a denial of the crucifixion, the denial that actually Jesus died on a cross, although there are different strands of interpretation. And that's because the Islamic system of salvation or justification is connected to faith in the Prophet who was sent and the doing of good works, and the notion of the sacrifice of Christ out of love for humanity doesn't fit with that system. So the figure of Jesus is very important to Muslims. And Muslims wear t-shirts saying, "I love Jesus." Some Muslims will say, "I love Jesus more than you do," to Christians, So it's very central, but we should also be sensitive to some of the particular articulations of his personality in the Quran.